Hi, I've been asked before, and I've done this before, but I'm going to do it again. And that is a description of how I arrived at the knowledge of the birth order and the family tree. I want to share this because there is a message inside of it. In that what I found is that typically when I'm asking for something, it takes a period of time for that sincere desire to build to a threshold where an experience comes. Typically, I found that now to be around 4 months, between 3 and 4. That's true for many other things too, between 3 and 4. We'll describe what that means at another time, but this is about the birth order. In the middle 80s, 1980s, when I was doing a lot of iris, I would make wall maps of irises, meaning I would get iris photography and go have it put into a large 11 by 17, sometimes 15 by 21, big picture, color picture of an iris, and I would put a family on the wall, and I would try to get 3 or 4 kids, the parents, grandparents, and I was looking for how the connections worked. And it wasn't clear. So oftentimes you'd have a mother come in with 2 kids. The iris would not match the mother or the father. And then one of the grandparents is there and it matches one or it doesn't. And it was really not clear how the birth order related to the iris, if at all. So I was wanting to know how it worked. So my way is to ask. That's how I learn, is I ask. And I have found that the sincere desire to want to know needs to have a level of passion to it. Meaning you have to passionately want to know or want to receive something. I used to be very visceral about it. I mean, I would be demanding about it. I'm a little easier now, but no less passionate. In that experience, one night I'm meditating, and at the time I was very much into 23 degrees. 23 degrees is, as you probably already know, the tilt of the Earth. When it's moving, going through the seasons, it's tilted at 23 degrees, and that 23 degrees is the magnetic difference from true north. So true north is different than magnetic north. So I would try to put my forehead right where the skin meets the hair. I would tilt my head back and believing that you could receive something along that line, because for me, that line at 23 degrees was associated with the middle of the galaxy, in the middle of the universe, and would be the likely conduit from the divine. I still do that, though I don't think it's necessary to do it. I still do it at times, but I'm just explaining the experience. So there I was, I'm meditating in the middle of the night, and it happened to be I was also doing something else a little different. I happened to be in Brazil, where I had grown fond of mangoes. Yes, that's that deliciously Brazilian sweet fruit that is golden in its color and sweet. So I wanted to add extra senses into my desire. So I was adding the color and the smell and the taste. So I was adding it into my passionate desire to want to receive the information. I don't believe anymore that it's necessary to do all of that, but it's a really nice exercise to incorporate higher magnitudes of sensitivity, however that might arrive. So then, magically, without really expecting anything to happen, my inner vision opened. When the inner vision opens, it is brilliantly clear and far beyond anything in the human senses, which means when you really, that opens, you realize that where we live, we live in a world of muted shadows, and we live in a veil. We live pretty much in a dark place, but you won't know it until you open that up and see the higher world. And it was sparklingly pristine clear. And right in the middle of this, there came an image. Now, this is an image that's not it, but it will give you something of an idea. In the image I had, it was 6 sparkling lights, one on top of the other, and I knew instantly it was 6 brothers, from the oldest to the youngest, 6 equally brilliant, bright white lights. And as it moved closer to me, I could see the physical body of 6 different brothers. I didn't know that there was 6 different ways to be a man, 6 different forms of masculinity. Whether you were a man or a woman, there were 6 different qualities of things I didn't even comprehend. Then from the other side came 6 more equally luminous, bright lights, but this time it was 6 sisters, from the oldest to the youngest, and they were all equally beautiful, but different. And each one of them had their own qualities of body and appearance, and they were just, well, beautiful. Then, to my surprise, the top one of the boys and the top one of the girls, they came together and they reached out for each other like holding hands. And the feeling was a feeling like tango dancers beginning to move on a dance floor. The second one with the second one, the third one with the third one, and all the way through the ladder, the entire group of 6 boys and 6 girls touched each other's hands and started to move. The moment they started to move, I thought to myself, DNA. And the moment I said to myself, DNA, I exploded. I have not recovered from that experience, by the way. It's still with me. In that moment of this explosion, it was like being immersed into an infinite ocean of pure white cream. It was an ocean of cream and honey. It was an ocean of such a sweetness of love that it was agonizingly beautiful. In that experience, I got to experience different levels of reality at levels I can't even begin to see or explain. I can't remember how many there were, 6, 12, I don't know, but I saw level after level after level of things beyond things I could comprehend. It was so shocking to me. All I could do was fall over, curl up in a fetal ball, and sob. And I couldn't stop sobbing for maybe 15 minutes. And then when I came out of the sobbing, to my disappointment, I could remember nothing. I knew I had had the experience, but I could not remember the details. And then began a slow, arduous process. Let's see. 6 boys. Yes, there were 6. 6 girls. I spent months and then decades, and I'm still processing, remembering, utilizing, experiencing, sharing as best I can these 12 and their correspondence to everything. You can call it what you want: glands, organs, body systems, meridians, colors, music, sounds, universes. Call it whatever you want. I don't remember 1/10 of 1%, but I know it's in there. My process is to gradually learn to use it, learn to feel it. What does it really feel like to be a number 1 girl? Whether I'm a girl or not doesn't matter. I have a number 1 girl skill set as a soul. I have a number 2 girl skill set as a soul. These are soul attributes, soul qualities, 99% of which or more are undeveloped. 6 boys, 6 girls, and all of their interrelationships that I can't explain to you, because in order to explain it, I would need to be able to access it. So even if I wrote a book, which I have, or I wrote 1,000 books, I won't be done. There's always more. It's agonizing knowing how much more there is at some level that I can't get to. So what I found was the only way to get to more is to give away what I have already. So I urge you, take it, please. Because whatever I can offer you today about understanding number 4 boy and number 4 girl in relationship to cycles or seasons, the month, the heart, the colors, the feelings, the music, whatever it was, I could help you with those too, or 4 girls relationship to 5 boy, or so on and so on. Here, please take it all. Because I know that in order to be able to receive more, I have to give what I've already gotten. So I'm eager to get rid of this stuff, because I know what comes next is more beautiful. I know that is just super annoying to lots of other people in RAYID that I keep changing things. No, I don't keep changing things. More things just keep coming. Some people feel it's irresponsible that I taught Iris for a decade or more, and then I was teaching this. And then I stopped teaching this. I went into other things, went into cycles and seasons and more. No, it'll always come around. It'll always cycle back. There's always more to do. There's always more to feel. There's always more to remember. So this was my original experience. Now, part of this is to see how this was applied to children, that there's a different application if a child's under the age of 8, then there are 6 boys and 6 girls, and there are qualitative experiences about how they are under the age of 8. There's so much information just in that one category. I can't contain it. I can't tell you. So I've tried lots of different ways to describe it. And I've tried to write fairy tales or stories to match each one of them. So that's why I have, 20 to 25 stories trying to describe what these attributes are like in small children on a journey. That's a whole nother spectrum of things to consider. So this is just a starting point. And I apologize for the graphics. It's beautiful graphics. I swear to you, it's beautiful graphics, but it's nothing compared to the reality of it. It's pathetically human, but it's a start. It's a place to remember and to feel. So I'm still practicing these inside myself. And as some of you know, I'm practicing these with the figure 8 function. I'm doing the whole circle pattern of doing this, the hours of the day, the months of the day, the phases of the moon, the years, and so on, because this is all part of the process, is to embody, to experience it, and share it. So please, use it. And if you end up with a question about one of them, ask, because your question will now allow me to access more information that I've not yet even gotten. So, have a question? Ask. See ya.